Hey everybody, I just want to do a quick review of my 2008 Volkswagen Jetta Turbo. It's a Wolfsburg Edition, so there's about 12,500 made that were in 2008, and here's a little emblem on the side of the car that designates the edition. These are 17-inch wheels, and right now I have some Continental Extreme Contact DWS tires on there, and they're actually really good for performance driving as well as snow traction, which is really surprising for an all-season tire. That's I believe it's a W rating, so it's good for 186 miles an hour, so not like I'm going that fast. But overall, this car is really surprising for only a $23,000 sedan that's about 5 years old now. Just going around down the side of the car here, you have side turn signal markers on the mirrors. You also have auto up and down for all the windows on the car as well. So four-wheel disc brakes, something you can't say about the 2011 and newer Jetta unless you have the GLI. Independent rear suspension, which is also a great thing to have. As I go around the back here, I'm just going to point out some engineering details. There's some vents here in the interior of the car that actually vent air from the cabin into the trunk area, which is really surprising. So I guess your groceries will always be the same temperature as your interior, so that's nice in the winter, especially if you have warm goods, which I don't think you'll ever have. So I'll open up the trunk here. I'll take a look. So they have some nice cubby holes, so you can fit like an umbrella, or in this case paper crap. But you'll have like some disposable like way to, I don't know, separate some stuff in your car. You also have, it's just a massive trunk in general. It's actually bigger than the Passats from the B6 era. But you have a pass-through, you have fold-down rear seats, you even have a power outlet right there. You also have hooks for your groceries. And what's best of all is it's a nicely finished trunk, if I could say that. Hinges are flush. They're not going to crush your luggage if you have a trunk full of stuff. This one has the spoiler on it, which is a nice little addition. Doesn't really do much performance-wise, but still a nice little addition. Rear taillights are pretty nice. Here's a 2.0T designation for the 2-liter turbo engine. And also the antenna on this car, on everything but the base model, is a shark fin design. And the rear brake light is actually up here on the top of the roof, probably to keep the driver's visibility in the back open, so it doesn't take up too much space on the rear shelf. Another great thing about Volkswagens is the way that their doors sound. It's just the most solid sounding door in the world. Here. Seriously, they're one of the most sounding solid doors I've ever heard. Even my dad's Infiniti G35 can't really match that kind of solidity. But in terms of quality, this car is actually, surprisingly, it's really good build quality on this. The top seam here doesn't have any weather stripping because it's actually a laser weld. It's not spot welding like most cars. I think only German manufacturers at this point, and a few manufacturers from Japan and the US have models, but most German cars are sealed like that from VW, Audi, and Porsche. So going around back to the front, you'll also notice that, well, with a lot of German cars they use really expensive parts. Even the windshield wipers are the beam blade design, so these were replaced for the first time after 50,000 miles a few months ago, and you don't really notice that they're losing their performance until they're actually starting to strip and fall apart. So they're great performing and they last for a long time. Another great thing about VWs, especially this generation, was the chrome grille, which you don't really have in the newer ones, and also the headlight design is really nice, and the attention to detail is even more apparent, especially when they have the VW sign in the headlight. But as you go around, this part would have been headlight washers if this was a European model, but US models don't have that, unfortunately. So this also has a sunroof, as with all the Wolfsburg Editions. VW emblem going around the front here. So if I go back around the side, I'll take a little tour of the interior. It has really good fit and finish for a $23,000 car for this age. It's really surprising, actually. So I come around, I'll come inside here. It's a little dark, but I'll turn on the lights. Yeah, the fit and finish is actually a really awesome thing about this car. Padded dash top up here. Also, this car has a direct shift gearbox, which is a dual clutch unit. So basically, when you're in one gear, the next gear is already pre-selected, so you can have really quick shifts. I think they're faster than the blink of an eye. They're faster than any automated single clutch unit from any auto manufacturer right now. And this car, like I said, is 5 years old, so they'll start it up, and it starts up really fast. And the brake lights on because I have the parking brake on this hill. Headlights. You actually pull that switch out if you had fog lights, but this car doesn't have them. What's really nice about this car also is it has some clever features like this. I call it the tap to pass feature, which is basically like a tap feature of the turn signals. So you tap it and it flashes for 3 times, and do it the other way if you want. But also, this car shares a lot with other Volkswagens, and it's really apparent in the way it drives and the way it just feels in general. It's a really solid driving car. It's hard to exactly say exactly why it's so solid. I compare this to the Infiniti G35 that I also drive, and it's really surprising how solid this car really feels in comparison to that car. If you look around, you have all the doors have this door lock designation, as well as vents for the heating and air conditioning on the pillars themselves. You also have really awesome interior lighting, blue with the gauges, which they don't even have in the newer models, and everything else is red, including the ambient lighting up here. So basically, this light will shine, these 2 lights actually will shine down onto the shifter so you can see at night, which glows on the gear selector lever so that you can see it at night. Parking brakes right there. You have this really clever armrest, which you can slide back and close like that. So it's really flush, out of the way if you want it to be out of the way. Or you can just raise it up and you can pull it out, and you can just have your arm here and you can drive in a relaxing manner. Also, it has a floor-mounted accelerator pedal with brake override, which was standard on this model year as well as a safety feature. Sunroof is really nice. Clever feature with this is that there's vents here, so you can actually vent the sunroof and get fresh air into the cabin without even opening the thing. So you have the sun out of the way, so it's not heating up the cabin, yet you can vent fresh air into the cabin in the summer. Another nice thing is it has heated seats, level 4, no, not 4 levels, 5 levels of heated seats, which is really awesome. Just the front seats, not the back seats like a lot of newer cars do. But yeah, you have automatic door locks when you hit 16 miles an hour. There's some basic stuff like that. All the storage cubbies are lined, including the glove box. You have little chrome bits all over, including the vents here. And in the back, there's actually a good amount of room for a small car. It's got, a dome light there, so you can see you got grab handles all the way around, including grab handles right here if you're really driving like a maniac. But you'll also have a rolled fold-down armrest right there. You have rear seat heating and ventilating vents right there. And what's really nice, this guy just keeps driving back and forth. You have auto up and down for all the windows, like I said before. And overall, this car is just a really solid driving car. The only complaint that I ever have about this car is probably the brake pedal. It's really mushy. Initial brake pedal feel is pretty good, pretty firm, but then if you have to stop in an emergency, it kind of goes down to the floor sometimes. I've looked at the brake fluid amount in the tank and everything, but the brakes are a little mushy. Basically, that's about it. I don't think these are active head restraints, but that's no big deal. You have head restraints for all the rear passengers, which is great. You can probably see a little driving portion I have on YouTube, so I won't do anything here right now. I guess what I could say right now is that the shifts are ultra quick on the transmission, and the engine has a ton of power from 2,000 RPM all the way up to redline. I think develops full torque from 1800 to about 5000 RPM and full horsepower around 6000 or a little bit less than that. But overall, it's a really engaging car to drive. The electro-mechanical steering is actually surprisingly sharp with a lot of good feedback. The only thing, we've driven it only once in the winter and we didn't have much snow, so we're going to find out pretty fast if these tires are up to the job. But basically, if you're looking for a German small sedan, this would be your ride, especially if you have less than $14,000 for a used car. And right now this car has about 59,000 miles, almost 60,000. So if you got a little bit extra change, because this car burns out a lot of lights, we replaced the headlight and the rear tail light within a week of each other. So I guess we're using the warranty to its full extent. Yeah, so just watch some more videos on my YouTube channel, and hope you enjoyed this video today, and hope you choose a nice German car like this, and I think you'll be very satisfied. Thank you.